Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube. Cue the intro. Okay guys, welcome to a sit down video. It's been so long since I've done one of these. Probably, I don't know, since I made my YouTube return. I know I haven't made any, but I want to get out of that and push out on my business a little bit. Not because I feel like, actually, no, I don't want nobody in my business, but also I hate talking about vulnerable stuff, especially when you put it on the internet, because it basically just becomes an archive of like embarrassment moments. But I told myself I was going to get out of that and really focus on trying to be transparent and vulnerable in all facets of life, including my internet life. So today we're filming our 1-year anniversary of being laid off. So yeah, as we're filming this, it'll be 1 year, I think on Valentine's. I'm filming a few days before Valentine's Day. And yeah, I'm gonna be sharing my story and how I was able to secure a new job and where I'm at a year later. So yeah, my previous company, I worked for them for about 2.5 years. I'm not gonna name names because I do still really appreciate and love my manager and my team, and they still are at that company and I don't ever want to embarrass them. Yeah, but basically I used to work as a merchandising assistant. That was my first big girl job out of actually my second. My first one I was really only at 6 months, so I don't really count that one. This one I was at for 2.5 years. And I can be super transparent now. I definitely had already started looking for a new job. I felt like I wasn't growing. I felt like my position wasn't going to grow. I felt like I was kind of being stagnant and stuck in the same position that I had been in for 2.5 years. And I just was like, the benefits, I could cry. The benefits were tea. I had a month in vacation time, 20 PTO days. I worked from home, fully remote. I had the cream of the crop, fresh out of COVID. So it was just like one of those things that I was very thankful and blessed for. Now, the company had signs that they weren't doing that well. There was a hiring freeze. There was downsizing of other teams. There was you asked any important inherent business questions and you were not getting the answers that you needed. It was just very evident that the downfall was coming. But my merchandising assistant role was very important at that company. It kind of had morphed into a data role, so I was doing data analytics, I was doing data entry, data maintenance. We maintained the data for the entire company. We updated it, we maintained it, we cleaned it, we fixed it, we changed it, all of it. So I was like, there's no way our job is going to be cut. We're needed. And even if my company had a parent company, so even if we merged back into the parent company, you need a data team. Like, everybody needs a data team. Well, ignorant little me, on February 12th, I think I have a video. I might have to upload the TikTok right here. Okay, today is 2/13/24 and I have a meeting with my entire team and our VP tomorrow, and I might be getting laid off. So I'm gonna come back and let you guys know what happens. It is 2:14. I'm 24 and I was indeed laid off. I literally came and saw a movie because what does motherfucker to do with no job? I basically was like, it's February 13th and I just got a meeting put on my calendar. We're going to see if we get laid off. I made it in joking because my entire team was put on my calendar. And I was like, there's no way they're laying off an entire team. It was a team of 4 because the 4th person she was on the packaging side. So she was just morphed into our team. But I was like, there's no way they're laying off our entire team. My manager's on it. And then also HR wasn't on it. So I thought it was just going to be a business update. Something told me after hours to check that email meeting. Sneakily, my manager's manager had put on HR. So then I start panicking. Like, oh my God, we're about to be laid off. And then I'm arguing with myself like, no, our whole team can't get laid off. Maybe they're just about to provide a business update and they need our team to know, and HR is going to be telling us. I'm like trying to wrestle and calm my anxiety, because my anxiety is at an all-time high. To paint a picture, I moved to Charlotte, North Carolina in September 2023. At that point, I had been in my job for 2 years. Nothing had changed. Nothing was wrong. I was living life vibes. I decided, well, I have a remote role. I was like, let's take the opportunity. Let's move. So 6 months out of my fresh move is when this occurs. So yeah, I'm panicking. Like, I'm wrestling. I'm talking to my mom. Mom's like, it could be a layoff, but it's your whole team. Like, maybe not. February 14th comes, Valentine's Day. I get on this meeting and I am going to share the video. I'm going to cut it off of like when I start crying, but I'm going to share the video. I held my composure so well, guys. I'm actually so proud of myself. I asked all the right questions.
We intend to be as supportive as possible as you search for an opportunity. HR will be providing information regarding benefits and dislocated worker benefits in the coming days. Please reach out to Lindsay in HR with any questions, and we'll do our best to answer them. While we do not believe that a federal law known as the Warrant Act applies, in the abundance of caution, we will be providing you with the warrant notice. A direct manager will be setting up some time to discuss the plan over the next few days. It's a very difficult news, guys. It's so unfortunate. I have a lot of respect for all of you, as I do for all the folks affected today. So, Lindsay's on the call. Obviously, she can pull any any questions she can at this time, but otherwise, as the notice later says, we shall be following up with some information. And know that we want to help you as much as we can. Any immediate questions you guys have? I have a quick question about our PTO. Should we be using it, or will we compensate it if we don't use the rest of it? Like, what will happen with that? You have to be paid out for your PTO. Okay. And I guess you will be sending information about like our 401k. Okay. Yep. You have to also a benefits FAQ, so kind of just commonly asked questions. And if there's any additional questions, once you book it out, please reach out to me. I'm happy to discuss anything that is specific to you. And we also have some other information we put together as well. So please reach out. I know this is a lot to process right now, so just if you have questions, please reach out to me in the next few days, okay? And that's our next question is on HR. It's about like immediate work. Since we will be here till the 29th, what's expected of us until the 29th, I guess. That's a very fair question. Obviously, this is a lot to take at, Riyon. So, first, today, we understand today is a day we have to kind of process what's going on, so we have to work with you guys on whatever transition that might be necessary given the roles. But we appreciate your professionalism and wanting to make sure that things are handled right up until the day, so thank you. Yeah. Alright, well, if there are no further questions at this time, we'll cut it short. Now, do know that it's a resource by the questions. If you have them, and I'm sure you will. Hopefully the packet of information she'll share will get most of those covered. If not, continue to funnel them to her. I think the world. If you guys have no players around you, guys, but you can't stop talking about how great you guys are. So, please know that. Got it? Yep, got it. Hi, thank you.
But to sum it up, my company did a warn letter that was sent 2 days before they told us we were laid off. My entire team was laid off, excluding my manager. My manager didn't know she was losing her whole team until 15 minutes before they called all of us to tell us that we were laid off. We did not receive a severance package because they sent a warn letter saying that they basically couldn't afford to do so. and our last day was going to be February 29th, 2023. And that was all they could provide. And after that, HR pretty much went dark on us. No more questions, no more anything, just the warn letter, the things that you needed if you were going to be getting, I think it's Cobra for your insurance, and that was it. I've never felt so let down by a place or a job. I also never felt so let down by myself. When I started my job, I was in the middle of a master's program. I graduated with my master's program, and I can be transparent. I was not making over $50,000 at that job with an MBA attached to my name. And I know here come all of the people like, you getting a master's with no experience was just dumb. I knew that if I waited to get my master's down the line, I would have completed it, but I did my master's program because I graduated during COVID where I had nothing but time, and so to fill my time, I got a degree like every other Black woman in the world. So I don't regret my experience of getting my degree early. I just now know that I have all of this letters behind my name, and now I have to go get the experience. So yeah, that's just a little tidbit. I'm not discouraging anybody from getting their master's straight out of college, but if you know you want to do like MBA program, it might be better to get the experience first, so that way you can apply your program to what you're doing. So yeah, the day of that I got laid off, I basically cried, called my mom, panicking like I'm 6 months fresh into this move and I don't know what I'm finna do. She rallies behind me. All my aunts are texting me. I go see a movie. Don't really remember what movie I went to go see, but I went to a movie. And then I worked the next 2 weeks. I didn't work hard. I broke up my days. I spent half my days applying for jobs and the other half actually doing work that was needed. And even my manager to this day was like, you did not need to do that. But I never like to leave a place with a bad taste in their mouth unless they leave a bad taste. And they left a sorry ass taste in my mouth, but they were my longest experience. So I needed to make sure that anytime I needed a reference, I know I could be referred well. So that happened in February. I did not start my new job until June, almost July. So I was unemployed for a total of for about 4 months. And let me tell you what I learned during those 4 months. The job market, and speaking in 2024 now, or 2025 now, this is the worst job market I've ever been a part of. You have people who are lying about jobs, scamming about jobs, ghosting about jobs, not providing feedback, giving you the runaround. It was one of the worst self-esteem experiences ever. And I have to say that because nothing should dictate your self-esteem, but when you know you're a hard worker, you know you have the credentials, you know that you do great work, and you have a recruiter reach out to you saying you have an amazing resume, we want to speak to you, you set up a time and they don't show up and they don't reach out, it kind of starts to just affect you and wear on you. I had to start optimizing my resume to every job description, which I personally am against that, not like against doing it. I'm personally against it because I just feel like my resume is a generalized, broad paper about me. And if you want to actually get to know and how I apply those skills, you should contact me. I shouldn't have to jump through hoops just to get through the first door, because I feel like if I have to jump through hoops to get through door 1, I can't imagine 2, 3, and 4 doors. I don't mind 1, 2, 3 interviews post your first time with a recruiter, but if I had to tailor just to get past AI or just to get past checking off a few boxes, it's like I'm never going to get any further. I don't know. I'm just very pro against tailoring my resume, but I was doing it. I was optimizing. I was talking to my old manager. She was looking over my resume. Anybody who could look over my resume was looking over that resume. But it was really a dark time. And there are still people who I was laid off with in February. That makes me want to cry. Who are still on LinkedIn trying to find a job. And I pray every single day, like, thank you, God, for another day and for another day. And then every weekday I'm praying for my job, because it was also one of the scariest times. I lived at home for 3 years post-grad. 4 years post-grad. And the year I decided to move out, I lose my job. It was like, it was one of the worst experiences. I wouldn't wish that on anyone. Now, here are some things that I did that was able to make my experience, I think, a little less daunting. Because I lived at home for so long, I had a very good savings, and I continued to save even when I moved here. So I basically had a savings that I lived off of when I was unemployed. I really want to take the time to thank my old manager. Like, when I say that I have had some of the greatest managers, and if I could just give my previous manager like so much praise and love, I thank her. Basically helped bring me back as a consultant slash project manager, and I led a project that I was able to help her with to the best of my ability. And I was able to be an independent contractor for about a month, or no, it was about 2 months, and I was able to do that up until I got my new job. And if I could just really thank her, I really would. Like, I would thank her every day for a lifetime for that, because I was able to bring in income with being an independent contractor. It was like one of the greatest gifts she could have gave me. Also, how was I able to secure my new job? I secured my new job, I'm pretty sure it was on LinkedIn. And LinkedIn, I know people talk about they don't have success with LinkedIn, but I have success with LinkedIn. I found my first job off LinkedIn. I found this job off LinkedIn. I interviewed with my recruiter, and then I didn't hear from him for about 2 weeks. And then I had two interviews, but it really ended up being like 5. And let me tell you, I had an interview with the hiring manager via Zoom, and then I went into the office, and I met with like 4 people on the team and interviewed with all of them. They were all wonderful people. And now here's the funny thing. I think that God places people right in your path at the right time. I actually did not get the job I applied for. They actually promoted somebody internally for that job. It was between me and her, and they just felt like she was a little bit more advanced. But they were like, we like you so much. You have the charisma, you have the skills, you have the place for growth, that we would love to take you on as a team member, but you would be doing this, which was basically the lady's previous job. And she would be promoted up because they're on the same team. And she was like, it's not the same pay. It was a pay cut from what I was interviewing for, but she was like, but we want you. So if you're open to it, let us know. Of course I was open to it. It really, the job wasn't that far-fetched from what I was interviewing for. It's a little bit off, or a little bit different, but it was also a new system to learn. And I was like, I want to get into new systems, get into new processes, get into new things. So I took the job. And I just want to say God provides, because this job is not fully remote. It is hybrid. And by hybrid, I mean 1 day, 2 days a week. And I'm very, 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 very fortunate, because the commute is 6 minutes. The commute is 6 minutes from my house. When I interviewed for when I went to interview the job and I looked at the address, I was like, that doesn't sound far from my house. And it was like, it's 6 minutes. I've never prayed so hard to God that I got the job, because all the other jobs was in South Carolina. It was in far on the other side of town, which was gonna be a 40-minute commute. I was like, God, if I have to go to the office, please make it close. It's 6 minutes. I drive 6 minutes from my house to the parking lot. It's legitimately 6 minutes. I couldn't adore it more. And yeah, that's where I've been for now, over, I think it's almost 8 months. I really have no complaints there. My manager's nice. I love being on teams that are led by women. I feel like when they're led by women, they have what's like a good term? There's a lot more understanding about like life outside of work. And I definitely love that. So yeah, I have no complaints. I'm very happy where I am. But I say all that to say, so here are some tips for being laid off. When you're being laid off, make sure like the day you're laid off, take a mental health day. Like if they expect you to work after they tell you some news like that, they're an SHITTY place. And because no, you should immediately just log off, to cancel your meetings for the day, take the rest of the day to process, because it will be a lot of processing. You will have to go through like the what ifs, the what can I do, what's happening, what's next, then go into process mode. Like, and by process mode I mean like getting into your process, getting into your schedule. One thing I also will say that helped me during my layoff period was keeping a schedule. I would get up, I would go to the gym, I would spend like 10 to 12 applying for jobs. I would take the time off, maybe film some content, maybe make some candles in the afternoon, something that was for me that didn't feel like so centered. I also made sure that if I was going to apply for jobs in the morning, schedule my interviews in the afternoon, so that way it felt like I kept an entire productive day, and that when 4 o'clock came around, it didn't feel like, oh my god, the day was dragging. I read a lot. I read a lot of books during my time off. I would go on excursions, even if it was just to the other side of town. Just changing my environment was something that also really kept me positive. Applying for jobs. People say, you know, don't apply for jobs you're not qualified for. I say apply for them. No shade. If the president of the United States can be who the president of the United States is, apply for that job that you're not 100% qualified for. Get that certification, learn everything that you can learn. I was basically a sponge of knowledge. I was taking every free class there was, every free certification I could, and I just really thrived off that. But yeah, so a year later, here I am. I was able to start my job in June. I actually took a family trip. And then I've been at my job ever since. I've been praying over my job and praying that I keep it. I like my manager. I like my team. It is a pivot from what I was currently doing, but I think that I just probably needed a little break anyway. That doesn't stop me from learning things. It just, you know, it's a pivot, and I'm very happy where I am now. I got a salary increase, which was something me and my manager have been pushing for anyway for me for a long time. My team of 3 or 4, me and all 3 of us got fired. They ended up rehiring the associate back the same week they fired her because they realized they messed up. They fired my manager's manager because apparently it was all on him that we even lost all our jobs anyway. And now I'm a year removed from that place. And how do I feel about that place now? I definitely don't hold any resentment for that, because I already wanted out. I wanted a new job. I wanted a pay increase. I wanted different things. And so I just know that layoffs can be the cruelest thing that can ever happen. And I definitely think that that particular place went about it one of the most cruel ways as well. No severance package, just here you go, you're on your boot. Your last paycheck will come a week after the 29th, and good luck to you. I think they did it one of the most cruel ways, and I don't know. I feel very unfortunate that it had to happen that way, but I know that it was for my greater purpose and for the people's greater purpose of what's to come next. So yeah, if you like this type of video where I put y'all in my personal business a little bit, let me know. I'm thinking about doing a chronic illness video, which I don't view it as a chronic illness, but I think technically it's classified as a chronic illness that I have. And what else? What other type of talking videos? Moving to Charlotte. I've been here now over a year, and so I feel like I can finally talk about my move and why I didn't tell anybody where I moved for the first year and how life has been for me. So if you guys want those type of videos, make sure you like this video. Make sure you comment it down in the comment section. Go follow me on my Instagram. I'm always gonna put up polls over there of like what type of video topics you want to see. And yeah, thanks for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.